What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in again. Another Streetcar Shenanigans YouTube channel. So, working on the red car again. Got the trans out the other day, and that went fairly smoothly. Someone tightened everything like crazy. Holy jeez, that was rough. But here she is. She's out. It's got a MGW shifter, new one, but this bad boy just wiggles right. I don't know if you can see that, but she's just wobbling all around. She broke off at the base, so it's gonna need a new retaining sleeve, which we have, so that's nice. Don't have to wait for that. So today I am going to be pulling the blower off, getting everything, all this mess out of here, all this. Clean her up a little bit and see what happens. We'll see what she looks like. Does already have an AccuFab single blade throttle body. I think we've already mentioned that before, but yeah, so that's what we're doing with today. So I'm gonna get to it. All the EGR and vacuum lines are off. Look at how clean that would look. As you can see, I have this on my car and I love it. Really cleans up the engine bay. Just getting rid of this stuff. So I'm gonna keep cranking away and get this blower out soon. Well, that was a big old pain in the ass, but at least got her somewhat to this point now. And she should come out. She's a little heavy, that's for sure. Oh, there she is, out. Now I'm gonna vacuum up all on the intake, right there on top of the heads. Make sure none of that shit gets inside. Vacuum out the valley a little bit, but jeez, that was a struggle with one person. But back here, this is the biggest pain in the ass too, is trying to get to this little Christmas tree clip that goes on the back of the blower. And that EGR was fighting me too. But jeez, that little Christmas tree clip goes right here on the very back and all the way deep down. It's like, how the hell am I supposed to get at that? But she is out. Factory. PCV system. Obviously it puts oil right back in the intake a little bit. But yeah. Whew. That was a rough one, but she's coming along. Can't complain too much. Try to clean up the little coolant mess from the intercooler, but happens. Hull taped off, vacuumed out. Now she's at a point to where gotta pull the idlers off on the front, 1, 2, and 3, and replace with the Mecco ones we got. And then that's about it for the time being. Then I tear apart the blower over there. Take that all down to piece by piece. So far so good, can't complain too much. It's pretty hot though, sweating my balls off, but that's all right. At least we're making some good headway again. Just like that, they're off. So, I think we reached a point at this time. I'm gonna start again, tearing the blow apart. But I think for here, we're good. So, I think we reached a point in the engine bay where we're gonna kinda sit here, not really sit here, but stop at the moment, tear apart the stock blower and intake and all that stuff to get ready to make way for the big old 265 VMP we're about to put on this bad boy. She should make some good steam in comparison to Charlie's and Benny's car. Be a good comparison, we haven't seen it before, and I've never seen one in person, so I've heard you have to massage the coolant crossover a little bit right here, but we'll make her work, because that is gonna be one badass blower, that's for sure. Compared to this little baby. Look at her. Get one last look. Then she's gonna be huge.
All right, moving on to the remainder of this project. We have the 26 spline input shaft, we have the billet retainer sleeve on it, we have the pivot ball in factory location for now. This is going to be checked here shortly. Should be good.
Sleeve, here's the old one. It was broken like right at the base, so it's kind of hard to see, but she's got a little bit of play there. Very difficult to see, but
there was a lot in one spot. Where'd it go? There it is.
Oh yeah, there she is. Oh, yep, she's screwed. Whoop! That was probably where all the trans issues and clutch pedal problems were.
Well, this was also screwed out. You didn't show them in the last video.
No, yeah, we didn't. But yeah, this was about to here.
Just like that.
And it was just nice and loose. No lock nut or anything to hold it nice and tight. It was just chilling. So, sure, the combination of all those things, it wasn't helping this car in any way, shape, or form, but she's all good now.
Now we're getting the trans back into the car. And we want to share a success that we made with you guys. So the last couple clutches we've done, we used like grease and paper towels and made a mess trying to get it out. Kind of like using the bread technique, but we don't have any bread. So we like substituted it with grease and paper towels. So what we went to rented a pilot bearing puller. Now, my experience with these in the past has not been the greatest. So I wasn't too keen on this idea, and Dan's like, they have one at AutoZone. I called them, pick it up on your way here. So, thus, we have one. And not to my surprise, we put it in there and it totally failed. It did not, it just like ripped the bearing apart piece by piece. Here's parts of the cage on the ground everywhere. So that obviously prompted us to take a step back and kind of like re-engineer the tool, which is what we ended up doing. So
we already had this mindset kind of set anyways.
Yeah, last time we used this, we're like, oh, well, we kind of know why they suck. So let's try to fix it. And since the last time we used this, I happened to learn how to TIG weld. So we were able to modify the tool appropriately. And you know, the little arms that are on here, so little nubs that they give you right here, they're usually really short, like almost 1/3 this. It's like just a little bump on the end. So what we did is Dan ground this down just to let it reach under the bearing more, and then I welded this out further. Not my best work, but it worked. I welded this out further and tried to stack it onto the little ridge and then made it a really harsh angle. And that was successful. We tried it without modification like twice, and it just pulled the bearing apart. Then we modified it heavily, and bam! There it is. Hopefully this $40 tool becomes a irreplaceable piece of equipment around the shop once we get it nailed down, which it should be. Then we are going to onto the car. Everything's off, everything's clean. We're gonna put the new pilot bearing in. We're gonna put the flywheel on, the mcleod RST clutch, twin disc that's going on it, and we're just gonna start stacking everything on here. Bring you guys some images of that. And I think that's all the goal for this evening. It's already like 10 o'clock. We just spent like an hour trying to get that pilot bearing out. But everything's greased up, lubed up, and ready to go. Put a little bit in this bad boy. I guess we can do that. We can do that later.
We gotta get the clutch anyway to the line.
Right on, right on. Right on. I know we've said it before in previous videos, but Ford Racing, this is actually a Ford Racing. I thought it might be the first time I've used this one, second time.
My car.
Your car's got one too? This is the Ford Racing heavy duty input shaft bearing, and the roller bearings are significantly larger than the factory ones that we just pulled out in pieces. All right, so we are getting the RST ready to get it lined up with the flywheel. And so this is a twin disc. This is the lower of the two twin discs, but it's beautiful. We have an RST in the red car, and it's like an OG RST before they did like this billet plate, and this is just so pretty. But anyway, so all right, we're getting ready to put this bad boy in there. We're gonna get lined everything up. Got the flywheel bolted on. You can see we got some brake cleaner, and then follow the torquing sequence. You got to torque this plate on, line everything else up on top of it, and that's about all she got there. We'll show you what it looks like installed because it's bad. Torqued everything. We always use ARP flywheel bolts. That new pilot bearing is installed. You can't see because it's dark under here, but you can kind of see. So you got the ARP flywheel bolts, you got that heavy duty pilot bearing, got the new mcleod light and steel flywheel. Alright, step one. Install the floater. Good rule of thumb, make sure that the floater bolts are tight. I just checked them, they're like 18 out of the box. So we turn those babies up. So, but it's pretty. Now we stack the rest on. Next clutch plate, pressure plate. Torque it all down. All right, while Dan is taking a picture for the Instagram, if you don't follow us on Instagram, streetcar_shenanigans. You should do that by now. Link is in the description down below. But, did I mess you up? Nope. Look at that beauty. Top-notch hardware for a top-notch build. Oh, we got the head cooling mod up in there. Good to go.
So now we're installing the Hilton boost overlay. Pull the dash out, you know, to get the little headlight switch out, and then you've got two T20 Torx bits that holds the top of the column on up there. Pull that out, and then you got 4 T20 that hold the gauge bezel on, or the gauges on. The bezel is the 220s, and then you got the boost vacuum line and the 2 plugs, and she comes right out. So that's what we're doing over here. Matt's getting his little rig set up here. So we put the new sticker on, Hilton Boost Overlay with a 0 to 25 range. You take this off, what I do, take your clip tool and I wrap it around with electrical tape a couple times. I just make a slice in the middle so you don't scratch anything, make it look nice. Then I trim up the sticker. You can see I trim the bottom here and a little here so it doesn't overlay on any of the other gauges. Then you take the factory little knob and you clip, if you can focus, the back off. There's a little stopper usually that goes in between this little range, but we clip that off and so we can get the full sweep. And now we have our little boost gauge so we can calibrate where we put the needle on here. A little contraption here to be more of a fine tuning. We're trying.
Very touchy.
But yeah, so that's how you do the whole Hilton boost overlay. So we'll get back to you when she's on and ready. And she's in. Nice factory look to it. Can't even really tell. Obviously, those who know Cobras will know, but looks good. Matches nicely. So we're happy with it. Got it calibrated just right.
All right, guys, so we are going to wrap up this section of the new York Cobra build. As of right now, you guys saw the clutch and flywheel is in, the T56 is back in, everything's tight. We adjusted the clutch cable, everything's all set there. Drive shaft is tightened down, Loctited. The last thing we have to do underneath here is get some new exhaust hardware. The stuff that they have is a hair too long, and Mike told me that it sounded like it had an exhaust leak, and when we tightened them, you could still move them around. So that's likely where it came from. So we're gonna tighten that all up. These ones look fine, but this has two different brands with the hardware off of this, so it wasn't quite the same. So we're gonna get that fixed up. Otherwise, it looks really good, really clean under here. Happy with it. Clutch works nicely. You can see it peeking through in there a little bit. So thank you so much for checking us out again. Subscribe down below so you guys can see part 2. And if you haven't already, make sure you're hitting the bell notification next to subscribe so you guys can get updates now that we're regularly uploading. Don't want to miss out on what's coming up. So anyway, subscribe down below. We'll see you guys in the next video.